Okay, hello, Jacob Rupp, men's coach, here to talk about how I deal with fear. 3 ways I deal with my fear. I find myself, again, this is one of those things. The good news is it's late, and so therefore, if you're watching this, you're probably like absentmindedly scrolling through your Facebook feed, and you're like, oh, this dude's on again, cool. Not during working hours. But fear is a very crippling force in my life. That it's something that I've been dealing with for a very long time. I never really get over it. Fear shows its head in a multitude of ways. I think a lot of ways it affects me in terms of voices telling myself I'm not good enough, telling myself I'm kind of a failure, you're not doing a great job. The depression, the darkness, which I think is there, certainly for myself. And it's funny because I think a lot of people deal with this as well. Looking at the areas in our life we don't feel great, and where we don't feel like we're good. Again, like I said, we don't feel like we're good enough. We're afraid that we're not going to get to the end goal. For me, what's most crippling is I'm always petrified of what people will think about me, and I think people are going to judge me, etc. So there are really 3 ways that I've gone about learning how to overcome or to deal with or to handle the fear. One of them just pops out because of my training with jiu-jitsu is learning how to breathe kind of through the fear. When you have a situation, as I'm oftentimes in jiu-jitsu, like someone's like on top of you and choking you, so the natural fear, the natural response is to tense up and to do as hard as you like to pull them off as hard as you can. And the reason why they're choking you is they have a superior advantage. They have their weight on you. You can't really move. But what you do is you wind up exhausting yourself, and then eventually they will be able to choke you. So learning how to breathe through the fear was something that I learned in jiu-jitsu, that now as I start to experience it in my day-to-day life, almost learning how, and again, literally this happened today. I met a mentor, and I didn't really know what to talk to this mentor about. And at the end, I was like, hey, can I have your picture? And I felt like a 14-year-old girl, but whatever, it was pretty cool. And at the end, I walked in, I'm like, God, I'm such an idiot. Like, what kind of a grown man asks another grown man for a photograph? And I felt like super awkward. I'm like, God, I'm such a loser. And then the amazing thing was, I was like, no, I can breathe through this. I can deal with this. So the first step is breathing through the fear. The second step is to disassociate from it. Also, again today, the idea, I thought to myself, I'm in a negative place. I'm having negative messages going on in my mind. So I learned to say, that's not me. That's just something that I'm thinking right now. And creating that disassociation created a sense of peace, and at least had me stand back and say, well, am I objectively like a loser? No, right? So I was able to kind of pull away from it and not have it, initially be my association. And the third thing, which I think is the most important, is learning how to take action and being able to work your way through the fear and do it anyway, and if you want to do something, just, go for it. And even though it's uncomfortable, I think, and one of the things I had heard many times, I think it's very true, is fear goes away the more that you do it, the more you become familiar with it. It's not so scary. So those are the three things. First of all, disassociate from it. First was breathe through it. Second was disassociate from it and kind of look at yourself and say, is that really what's going on? Is it true? Is that me, or is that just my thoughts? And the third step is to take action. But how do you feel about fear? If you can comment below, how do you deal with fear? Help me deal with my fear, and the kind of negativity is also great. And thank you very much. Have a good evening.